Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up. I did have this filmed earlier, but then, I don't know, technology. So here I am, starting from the beginning again. One of the later clips it's like the only one that's saved, so that'll be me in like completely different clothing. So, starting with August, I read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. That was a really good book. It is an adult fantasy and there are some trigger warnings. I will link a trigger warning site below. Feel free to use it, and if it's not on there, feel free to reach out to me, comment, DM me on Twitter if need be. Like, I really don't mind, like, reach out to me if you need to. I know how it feels to have anxiety, but like, I promise you I'm not going to think you're weird or that it's strange or like anything. Like, I'm here to help. And that was a really good book. I really liked the characters and it had a bit of a mystery theme to it, so it was really fun. Next I read Camp Jupiter Classified, a Probatio's journal. That was like a middle grade book. It was just a really simple read. It was good, but it was also like way below my reading level. The next I read The Tyrant's Tomb, which, like, the Reina content, I wanted more, but I'm also like, thank you for at least giving me some. But like, another thing, I really liked Hazel. I loved seeing more of her character. I love her character, but I feel like Rick could have done a lot more development with it, and the like the time difference, I feel like Hazel would have a lot more reaction to the 21st century, like a lot more. If you ever want to hear me talk about that, like, go ahead. Although a lot of this stuff has been realized for me by someone on TikTok, which I don't remember their app, so I will make a note to link them below for you, because she does a lot of really like eye-opening videos about Percy Jackson and just the, sorry, I'm completely getting off topic, just the problems that Rick has with his books. Yeah, anyways, so that was a really good book. I loved it. Next, I read Dry by Neal, Shusterman, and I believe there was another author, I don't remember his name, but Neal Shusterman was like the main author. That was really good. Oh, I wouldn't say it was really good, it was like, okay. It was basically if there was like a tap out in California, and so like there was no water, and I don't know, I feel like it could have been a little more realistic. I thought it was a little out there, but it was interesting seeing that sort of like climate change. Climate change is real, I did not mean to do quotations. To see like just stuff with climate change and our lack of resources and how that's affecting us and how it could affect us in the future. Next I read A Part of Your World by Liz Braswell, which I sort of like her series that she's doing. I also think that it could be written better. Julia Rhapsody did the video, I'll link that down below. I really liked her video. It was okay. I feel like it could have fixed a lot. It had just differing plot points from the movie. So it definitely could have been, I feel like, researched better. If you would call researching The Little Mermaid a thing. Yeah, but like it was like a fun, like just sort of nostalgic read. The other books that Liz Braswell does, they're not like great, but like they're decent reads. So, alright, so next I read Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. And like she's sort of like slowly becoming my new favorite YA author, especially because Cassandra Clare is like, yeah. So there's just a lot of bad stuff that's happened with her. So I really like her books. This Siege and Storm like flew by for me for some reason. I don't know why, but like I feel like 1 minute I started it, the next I was simping over Nikolai, and then the next it was done. So I'm waiting on the third book. Alright, so the next book I read was Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky, which like I adored. It reminded me of Percy Jackson, and like Kwame Mbalia's writing is like really, really good. So like if you haven't read that, like go do. The second book comes out in a couple weeks. His writing and just the way that he includes the culture and the folklore and his character development is like beautiful. I think what I love about it is that it reminds me of Percy Jackson, where like it just sort of makes me nostalgic, but it also like completely stands on its own and it speaks for itself. And if you haven't read it, I'd go read it. One thing, the Book Hunter and Julia Rhapsody at A Reader's World, they are doing, and a few other people, I don't remember who, sorry, they're doing a Rick Riordan like presents read along. I'll link the Twitter page for that too below. But other than that, that was a really good book. If you haven't, all right. Oh, sorry, the camera's. There we go. So next I read The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which I originally thought was like The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I haven't read that yet. It's on my list. It was a pretty good book. I would check trigger warnings on that too, if you can. If you can't find trigger warnings, just reach out to me and I'll try and piece together from what I remember of the book and let you know. It was good. The ending, I was like jumping from place to place. It was like plot twists, betrayal, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening? It was pretty good though. I listened to the audiobook, so I really spaced out during a lot of it. Next I read A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which I really enjoyed so much more than I should have. It makes up for a lot of things with like the romantic scenes and the development. I feel like the development could have had more of a basis. Like I feel like it rushed straight into romance. And it was supposed to be enemies to lovers, so I feel like it could have built on the friends and like alliance part more and then went into the romance. But it was so good. And all the romantic parts, like the way they were written, made up for everything else. There's also some disability rap in there, which I enjoyed seeing. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but I really enjoyed seeing it because then you're not just having, you know, your typical white girl falls in love with a fairy and there's drama. I'm looking at you, Cruel Prince. Sorry. Next, I reread the first 2 books from the Spiderwick Chronicles. Mark Hamill read the audiobook that I was listening to. So that was like a whole other experience. Those are good. If you haven't read those, like they're really quick, easy reads and they're good. So I'd go check them out. Yeah. Next I read The Divide, American Injustice in the Age of the Wealth Gap. I really liked the author touching on these different issues. I'm back. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Ignore the cutout part. So I really liked the issues that the author was touching on. One thing I didn't like is that it basically seemed to be a rich, middle-aged white man talking about racial issues, which I wasn't sure how much I liked that, because I feel like he's never gonna be able to see the full extent of things, and I feel like I would rather hear own voices talking about these issues of poverty and racial injustice, because they have so much to say, and I don't want another white man telling me what they can just tell me themselves and that we should help them tell. Other than that, it was good talking about those issues, but like I don't need 3 lawyer stories and 2 life stories over an extent of like 180 pages just for you to tell me that the police is corrupt and a cab. So yeah, so those were all the books I read in August. 12 books total, which I feel like that's a lot, but I also don't know. Hopefully this month I can read more. It just depends on me and just the space that I'm in. So I'm reading Crooked Kingdom right now. I'm also reading Artemis Fowl. Read 2 books so far, and it's only September 7th. Obviously I'm doing well. So I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Anyways, once again, if you have book recommendations, like, please feel free to drop them in the comments or DM me on Twitter. I'm like seriously open. Just give me a book to read and I'll read it and I'll post a video about it. Anyways, other than that, have a good rest of your day, my lovelies. I hope you stay safe. Please remember to take care of yourselves. I know that it's hard. It's like, just do fundamental things, but I am here to support you in any way that I can, and I hope you're all doing well.